Okay, so you can go to view standard report first.
हाँ.
Okay, so what we normally do, so right side highly requested custom report. So these are, I assume, these are the reports requirement from the client. So whenever there is a report requirement from client, there are two things we need to know from them. First thing is like what are the fields they would expect to be in the report, and the second thing is if there is any calculation logic, what would be the logic they are expecting it to be. Suppose the first one, the year in payroll totals. So it should be a matrix report because if you see the report outputs based on YTD, QTD, MTD, so it needs some calculation. So suppose for a country, there are, suppose for India, there are 100 of resources. So for 100 of resources for YTD, so today is 4th of October. So if you are looking for a YTD data, it is looking for information from 1st of January to today's date. That is the thing. So you need to do the calculations, creating calculated fields depending on this date difference. So the total amount spent for a country starting from 1st January to today's date. The MTD means 1st October to today's date. So these are the calculations which you need to create from calculated fields. So that is one example. So before going into it, you need to go through all the standard reports. It is mentioned in the left-hand side, payroll totals by company and pay group. You can search that by view standard report.
Okay. Yeah. All the left one by view we can search.
Yeah,
Payroll totals, pay balance by summary, payroll
right,
consolidated, payroll not completed, XDSO. Okay, preview smart
right.
calculation, update,
Hmm.
continuous payroll. Okay,
Right. So out of these reports, in standard report, there are two type of standard reports. One is the Workday Deliver standard report, which can be copied into custom report. And there is one report type which is named as espresso report. For the
right,
espresso report, you cannot copy that. You
right.
only see the results. By seeing the results, you need to understand what is the logic generated behind that, and you need
Hmm.
to create the custom report depending on the, result shown in the report. But you cannot see anything behind the report logic.
Okay,
Okay, so for that, firstly, you need to go through all the reports in the payroll mentioned in the commonly used work delivered reports. And for the right hand side, if you are meeting with the client, you need to know that what are the logic they want to mention in the, so suppose this YTD, are they mentioning YTD means 1st January to today's date or the financial year start date to today's date? Financial start date is 1st April or 1st January, what the client is expecting. So these are the things you need to know, logic behind the fields
okay,
and the logic behind the fields and the fields they want to show in the report. There are different templates for requirement gathering. The templates consist of the report name. That is one thing. Second thing is fields they want to show in the report. That is the second thing. Third thing, logic behind the field. Suppose you want to show the worker. So worker means no logic, only the worker name. They want to suppose show the first name and the last name individually after the worker. They want to show the date of birth. They want to show the gender. These are the basic things they want to show in the report along with the detail of the YTD, QTD and MTD values. So MTD values means what are they expect to calculate? Is it the base pay or it is the total pay? It is the bonus? It is the one-time payment? What are the things they want to include in the report? You want to know that logic.
okay.
And
So,
if you yeah, sorry, excuse me.
no, no, go ahead.
Yeah. So suppose for the second one, 401k loans, reflecting the outstanding loan balance for worker with 401k loans. Now, if you see the left hand side, I don't see any loan reports mentioned in the commonly used report. Now, how would you find any roles, loan related reports? You need to go to view standard report and search with loan keyword and see what are the reports coming. So you need to analyze and see what are the reports there to see if you can take something from that. If not, then you need to identify what is the data source name for loans. You need to go to the functional team and ask on that because all the reporting resources would not know the functional background of the things. Suppose loan, the functional person can tell you that this is the data source. where you need to find the loan data. After you find and identify the data source, you need to ask the client again that reflects the outstanding loan balance for worker with 401 loan. So it should be the loan type, 401k loans. What are the fields they want to show? These are the things you need to get back to the client with the information.
Okay.
So if you ask me if any doubts you have on this.
Yeah. So then, as we don't have access, so like this, I'm also looking the my credentials. I was not able to find that to log into my tenant. The
Mhm.
otherwise the personal one I have. So just then let me basically high level. You can explain me this session overall. What are the reports Workday offers,
So
right?
the Workday offers the report you can see in the left-hand side column. And if you want to see any other reports apart from this, you just need to search with different keywords like loan, payroll, pay. These are the terms or keywords you need to find in Workday standard reports. So you need to find everything.
No,
Now going, yeah.
what I'm saying is, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. You can tell me.
Yeah, so they're like a different kind of reports Workday offers, the custom reports. That's what I was asking. So you can explain
Okay,
about that. I was
okay,
saying.
okay. So different custom reports which our Workday offers you. One is standard report. One is advanced report. One is matrix report, which is basically used. So advanced report is a report where you can show the data in tabular format. Tabular format means you get an Excel file. So it looks like an Excel file only. Left column, worker. Second column, birthday, date of birth. Third column, gender. Fourth column, something else. Fifth column, hire date. So this is the standard report. Sorry, advanced report. Now, apart from advanced report, there is one simple report as well. Simple report is also a tabular format report. But the difference between simple and advanced report is in simple report, you can only use the primary data source. You cannot use two data source or two business objects in the same report. Suppose there is one business object named worker. You get worker name, date of birth, gender, all this information from worker along with suppose base pay. Now, if you want to see the education also you can see from the worker data source. But if you want to go into detail of education, which school they have graduated from, which year they have passed out from, these are the things coming from education data source, education business object. So if you want to add both of them inside the single report, you need to create an advanced report, not a simple report. So that is the basic difference between simple and advanced. Now, if you want to create a matrix report, what is the difference between advanced report and matrix report? Matrix report is a report where you want to show the detailed group by. Suppose you have worked in PeopleSoft, you already should know about the Oracle structure, Oracle data structure, like group by. Are you aware of group by things in
Yeah, yeah.
Oracle SQL?
Order by, group by.
Right. So group by is something. Suppose you want to show the data country wise. So for India, how many total employees are there? If you want to show it in an advanced report, it would be tabular format. It will not show you the group by totals. But if you create a matrix report, it will show like India, then right side of India, it will show 100. That means it will show number 100. If you click on the number 100, it will go into the detail of that 100 employees. That is then shown in tabular format. So that is the matrix report for.
Okay.
So for the requirements you have shown in the that mostly will need the matrix report creation for the first year-end payroll totals. For
Okay.
the 401k loans, it may be showing in the advanced report as well because it doesn't need any group by. In the third point, if you see, can you just scroll your PPT to the right? I cannot see the whole.
Yeah, 1 second.
Hmm.
Can you see now? Can you see the whole?
Yeah, yeah, I can see the whole now. I think my screen has zoomed in a little bit. Okay, so third one is the YTD, earning by costing allocation. Now, if you are looking for earning by costing allocation, that means it would be needing a matrix report. The costing allocation is the group by. Then you need to see the YTD earning. So then you need to know that what is the YTD calculation for. It would take the data from 1st January or 1st April. What is the yearly start date, financial year start date or the calendar year start date? This is the information you need to know. Fourth point is the YTD gross wages, yearly gross wages. So you need to show the data year wise, 2023. Gross wages, 1,564. 2022, 5,651. 2019. So that is why it would need a matrix report. So this is how the report structure will go on.
Okay. Yeah, I understood. But what I'm saying is to just
Hmm.
generally explain, as we don't have the tenant.
Hmm.
Now I understood about this payroll. Generally
Hmm.
explain what kind of different reports we have in Workday.
Okay, in
And
Workday, you have
mm,
simple report. That is
uh,
point one.
right,
Second one is advanced report.
right.
Third one is matrix report. Fourth one is composite report.
Yeah.
I have explained advanced, matrix, and simple composite report. What is a composite report? Suppose you want to show the data for yearly basis, 2019. Now, inside the 2019, there is count of employee, country wise. Okay, average salary per country. That is, suppose example number two. Example number three, how many of them are males, how many are females? So this is the data set you need to create by matrix report first. Now,
Okay.
after you create the matrix reports, you combine 3 or 4 matrix reports in total and put it in a composite report. So in a composite report is a combination of multiple matrix reports. If you want to show different data source data inside the single report, that would need a composite report. Suppose you are showing country-wise headcount. So that would be coming from worker data source. Now, if you want to show country-wise education, so how many universities your employees have passed out from? So that would come from education business object. That is not a worker business object. Now, if you want to combine both of them inside the single report, country wise, then you need to create a composite report because in a matrix report, you cannot combine two business objects in a single report. So that is the difference between matrix and a composite report. There
Okay.
is another
Hold
option.
on,
Yeah.
Anup.
Hmm.
So when I
Hmm.
have questions,
Hmm.
I will be interrupting you. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, sure. Yeah, it is completely okay.
So basically, what is business object? What is data source in Workday?
Okay. Business object is a place where you have the data stored. Now, what is data source then? Data source is also a part of business object. So, worker is a business object. Okay. So, inside worker, there are worker for HCM reporting. Different different data sources are there inside business object. So, data source is a part of business object.
Okay, so in PeopleSoft term, we have the tables. So business object I can refer as a table, right?
No, actually, data source you can term it as a table.
Oh,
Business
data.
object you can term it as a schema, I suppose.
Okay. 1 second.
So it is a vast picture.
Uh, so like my so data source is a table,
Yes, the
and
source of data.
yeah, that is table equivalent.
Hmm. Hmm.
So business object is schema.
Yeah, that is my understanding and my. I mean, maybe it is. I am explaining it my style so that you can find a similarity.
Yeah, just can you give an example for each? I mean, it's your perception only. You can share.
Yeah,
No worries.
yeah. Hmm.
Give example for
Yes.
one of them, like in a workday
So
concept wise.
worker is a business object.
Right.
Okay. So
Mm.
worker for HCM reporting is another business object. Education, that is a related business object. Related, what is difference between business object and related business object? Once I mean business object, it is a primary business object. You have, or in Oracle, if you remember your early days, you had to connect between employee and manager. You need to join between them, right? In
Tables.
our early career days, That was the
Right.
first thing we had to do. So
Right.
employee ID, employee name, manager ID. Now inside the manager table, it has manager ID, manager's name. If we want to show in a single table, employee ID, manager's name, it is coming from both employee table and the manager table. So we had to join between them. So
Right.
employee dot employee ID is equals to managers dot employee ID.
So
So
do
the
we have these joinings in Workday, or how does it work?
it is there in Workday, but it is not exactly done by joining terms. So
What do they call?
related business object is a secondary table, and the term is called as relation. So if you see uh, business object details, there is a task business object detail. If you go on into business object detail and if you search with worker, you have the business object details. Now, once you have business object detail, you have a tab like related business object. Once you click on them, it will show what are the different business object having relation to the primary business object. You go into deep, clicking on that particular related business object and see what is the joining, I mean relational field. So how the related business object, secondary one, and the primary was getting joined. That is done to the relation. Now,
Okay.
if I tell you another example,
Mm-hmm.
now suppose there is one business object worker and one business object education. Suppose both of them doesn't have any relation, but your clients want to show you in a report which has data from both the business objects, which cannot be done using a custom report because there is no relation between them. Then you need Prism Analytics. So Prism Analytics is a part of Workday only, but it is used to get data outside of Workday to show it in a custom report. Now, by that thing, Prism Analytics, you can join between both of them and you can do everything possible which is there in Oracle, like joins, like unions, like different calculations. So it is the extended part of the Workday normal, all the general things. So it is the advanced part of Workday, which is used to get data from outside of Workday.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
then in this context, so then you can just explain me like so as we're going different kind of reports. Yeah, we'll finish
Mm.
that part.
Right. 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 So I was on a composite report. So in another thing, you can do as a replacement of composite report. So what is a composite report? Which shows the data from two different business objects. If you create two different reports from two different business objects, and you can show it in a dashboard, that is possible. In a
Okay.
Workday
So
dashboards, you
what
can
you're
add both of them.
so in the dashboard, so any kind of report we can add in the dashboard.
Right.
So
You
basically
can.
it's a display dashboard.
Correct. Correct. It's a display of reports. So
Yeah.
you create a dashboard, you add 6 reports into that, and it will be shown in a single screen.
Right. So because for the management or for anyone, so at one
Right.
place we
Right.
can show all the reports for
Correct.
them.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. And
And
in
if you
this,
click on that report, it will go into deep. So in dashboard, it will just shown. But if you click on that custom report, it will be opened separately to show you the detail of that particular report.
correct. Say whatever it is, like it is like what do we say, like a folder kind of dashboard.
Correct. Correct.
So
Correct. Exactly.
all reports and whatever the files we want in the folder we can keep and we can
Correct.
open what all that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, okay. When you are saying composite report, what do you mean?
Hmm. Composite reports is a type of report which allows you to add different matrix report into one report and show it to the screen.
Oh, different matrix reports to into one report.
That is called the composite report.
Okay, so then first explain me about matrix report then.
Okay, matrix report is the report where you can do group by country wise, data count, head count you want to show. Then you need matrix report.
So basically, matrix report is we're giving a condition of group by. That's all.
Correct. Correct. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that is done. So now I understood matrix report. So
Hmm.
can you give one example for matrix report?
For example, I would see like country-wise head count.
Country wise head
Head
count.
count. So the head count is a relative thing. Country-wise
Yeah.
is a fixed thing.
Yeah.
Along with head count, you can add the sum of total salary. Suppose
Okay.
for India, there are 104 resources. You show the head count of India, and you also show the total base pay you spend on India employees.
Correct. Okay. And in the same way, I can say the group by. So in a workday, the concept you called employee as a worker. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And okay. So then when you say different matrix report in one report, can you give me one example for composite report?
Yes. Yes. Suppose you want to show country-wise count of employees. Then suppose you want to show continent-wise count of employees. Okay. So suppose continent-wise, if we want to show you the head count. So Africa, how many workers are from Africa? Europe, how many workers are there from Europe? So suppose there is no relation between the continent and the country, and if you want to show them together, then you have to create a composite report which will consist of the country-wise report and the continent-wise report. That is just one example I can give you.
Okay, so if I can understand, for example, matrix report, I can say country-wise head count of the worker group by.
Right, right.
So if I take that as a composite report, so I can say that as a continent-wise head count report for the each continent, and it will have the data for the country-wise also. Am I right? In the
No, no,
composite.
no, no,
Uh,
no, no.
so in the
Suppose hmm.
go
Suppose you
ahead.
create two reports, two matrix reports you create. One is country-wise headcount report and one is continent-wise headcount report. You have two reports. Then you
Correct.
create a composite report by create custom report command. By that task, you create a composite report, and if you create a composite report, you will see multiple rows. So inside one row, you have to go to the settings and add the custom report one, which is a country-wise report. Then you go to the second row and create another report, add the second matrix report, which is the continent-wise matrix report. So you combine every report together in a composite report. That is what purpose is of a composite report.
Okay, okay. So combining two reports is
Multiple
composite.
matrix reports.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
So is there any limit in this composite report, like this many reports only we can club in?
Actually, I have seen 8, 10 together. At this small point of time, I'm not exactly remember if there is a limit or not, but I have added 8 if I am not wrong.
No problem. I mean, there is no need to be, precise. That is fine. It's 8 to 10. Okay.
But
Okay.
if I tell you in dashboard, there are limits. Like in dashboards, you can add maximum 6 tabs, and in a tab, you can add maximum of 6 reports.
In dashboard, we
So
can add only 6 reports.
6 reports in a tab, and there can be 6 tabs. So 36 reports you can put in total in the dashboard view.
Oh, okay. That's a limit.
Yeah, that's a limit, but you have an alternate option as well. So this 36, I tell you, this is the, thumbnail. You can show 36 only. So once you open the dashboard, there would be 6 reports showing in a small picture. If you
Ah,
click on that, it will be open. Now, if you want to add more than 36 reports, there is another option of showing other reports. So if you go to other reports, you can add hundreds of reports, but that will not be shown in a thumbnail. That will only show one by one as a name. If you click on that, the report will be open.
okay. As the thumbnails in the dashboard in the front end, it will show max 36
Right.
reports. But in other
Correct.
reports, we can add as many as we want. There is no limit, but that we have to
Correct.
go and click. It will not be shown as
Correct.
thumbnails.
Correct. Exactly.
Got it.